Clement Beaune's criticism of Britain's approach to the coronavirus pandemic backfired when Emmanuel Macron's minister claimed French citizens were better protected than people in the UK thanks to the European Union. Speaking to French TVRMC on Tuesday, Macron's sidekick claimed people in the EU had been better protected than in the UK and the US thanks to the united efforts of member states in the procurement of vaccines. He said, "The precaution that we Europeans take has helped on many issues. The British had many more deaths than in France, for an equal population. From a social point of view, it is better to be employed in France than the United States during the crisis. We are better protected." But the French European Affairs Minister's claims backfired when French citizens took on Twitter to dismantle his statement. One user said, "If the EU had not demanded over the past 40 years to cut into the social and to impose rigor, France would be even better in this area, and by far, especially in hospitals, education, research, new technologies etc. The EU is a parasite, and another, and one more lie from you." Today the UK, which has nearly 3 million more inhabitants than France, does not have 40,000 more dead today but 29,987 to be precise, or a margin of error of 25%. Review first. Really not serious for a minister. Another Twitter user also defended Brexit Britain. He wrote, "You criticize the UK. Do you want a comparison in deaths per million inhabitants with other European countries? Italy, 1,843, Slovakia, 1,848, Belgium, 1995, Slovenia, 1996, Hungary, 2,292, Czechia, 2,533, UK, 1,859. Proud of yourself? What did the EU do to protect these countries?" And another, "Why do you constantly bring up the British? Just get on with it. While you talk about Brexit because you're still bitter. People are dying of COVID. It's down to Emmanuel Macron. More people have died. Using scare tactics to play games backfired, so your fault's you're lagging." The boasting from Mr. Beaune comes as France's hospital system is under heavy pressure from the pandemic, with the number of people treated in intensive care units for COVID-19 at the highest in almost a year, even though the country has just entered its third lockdown. The health ministry reported on Tuesday that the number of people in ICUs with COVID-19 had increased by 193 over 24 hours to 5,626, a peak since the 20th of April, 2020, when France was in its first March the 20th of May 20 lockdown, and that figure is also rising further above the 4,919 high reached during country's second lockdown from the 30th of October to the 15th of December. The total number of people hospitalized with the disease rose by 732 over 24 hours, the sharpest daily increase for more than 4 months, to 30,639, breaching the 30,000 limit for the first time since November 24 and closing in on the November 16 record of 33,497. France is hoping a ramp-up of its vaccination campaign, combined with the 1-month lockdown in place since last weekend, will help it regain control over the latest outbreak, fueled by variants of the novel coronavirus. Earlier on Tuesday, the country started administering shots of the COVID-19 vaccine inside the Stade de France, the national stadium that once hosted soccer's World Cup final. A little more than 9.5 million people, representing 14.2% of the French population, have received at least one jab of a COVID vaccine, putting the government on track to reach the 10 million milestone earlier than the mid-April target it had set itself. In comparison, the percentage of the population in Britain that has been given at least one dose of the vaccine stands at 47, according to Reuters data.